Hello students! I'm gonna tell you how to add and subtract rational expressions. First, we're gonna see the how to do it and then an example. First, how to do it. To add or subtract rational expressions, first we have to determine the LCD. To determine the least common denominator, LCD, first, write each non-prime coefficient other than 1 of monomials that appear in denominators as a product of prime numbers. 2. Factor each denominator completely. Any factors that occur more than once should be expressed as powers. For example, x plus 5 times x plus 5 should be expressed as x plus 5 to the second power. List all different factors other than 1 that appear in any of the denominators. When the same factor appears in more than one denominator, write the factor with the highest power that appears. And fourth, the least common denominator is the product of all the factors found in step 3. To add or subtract rational expressions, we determine the LCD, then we rewrite each fraction as an equivalent fraction with the LCD. This is done by multiplying both the numerator and denominator of each fraction by any factors needed to obtain the LCD. Leave the denominator in factored form, but multiply out the numerator. Add or subtract the numerators while maintaining the LCD. And when it is possible to reduce the fraction by factoring numerator, do so. Let's see the example. Example, we're going to subtract 5r minus 2s over 25r squared minus 4s squared minus 2r minus s over 10r squared minus rs minus 2s squared. So, first step, determine the LCD. To determine the LCD, write each non-prime coefficient of monomials. There are no monomials. So we can skip step number 1. Let's go to step number 2. Factor each denominator completely. Factor each denominator completely. Factor denominators. Denominator 1. So we're going to factor denominator 1. 25r squared minus 4s squared. This is factored as a difference of squares. 25r squared could be 5 times r to the second power minus 2s to the second power, and this is a difference of squares. A will be 5r and B is 2s. Applying the equation of difference of squares, 5r minus 2s, factor of 5r plus 2s. Then we factor by difference of squares. Let's write the answer of factoring. Just the answer of factoring. Now let's go to denominator number 2. Denominator 2 is 10r squared minus rs minus 2s squared. So we can factor denominator 2 by trinomials. Which trinomial? The trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c. You may ask, which one is A, which one is B, which one is C? A equals to 10 times r squared, so 10. B is minus s. If you take r away of this term, will be minus s. And C is minus 2s squared. How you can factor this trinomial? So you can multiply a times c. You have a times c. In this case, a is 10 and c is minus 2s squared. So a times c is equals to minus 20 s to the second power. And you have to find two numbers whose add or whose sum is b minus s, is b is minus s, and whose product is minus 20s squared. Minus 20s squared. Let's see which are the numbers. So 5 times 4 is 20, minus 5 plus 4 is minus 1. So the numbers are minus 5s. Remember, the sum is minus s, and and 4. Let's check. Minus 5s times 4s minus 20s squared, minus 5s plus 4s minus s. Correct. Next step to factor. Rewrite the polynomial using the numbers found. So let's rewrite the polynomial using the numbers found. Let's rewrite it. We have the polynomial, this case is a trinomial, and we're not going to write minus rs, but we're going to use 5s, minus 5s and 4s. So minus 5rs plus 4rs minus 2s squared. And factor by grouping. Let's take the first part. 10r squared minus 5rs, which is the GCF. GCF is 5 5R. 5R is the GCF. 5R is the GCF. 5R is factor of, so which is the factor that I have to multiply by 5R to get 10R squared? 2R minus, and here we just need to write S, minus S, plus, now the second group, we have 4S RS minus 2S squared, GCF is 2S, and is factor of, which is the factor that multiplied by 2S gets 4RS, 2R minus S again. And now we have determine the parenthesis, it's a GCF. 2R minus S is factor of 5R plus 2S. Then we factor completely denominator number 2. Let's write answer of factoring. So 10R squared minus 2S, Control P, and equals to factoring the factors. Now we factor completely each denominator. Any factors that occur more than once should be expressed as powers. For example, x plus 5 should be expressed as x plus 5 to the second power. As you could see, there are not the same factors, so we don't have to write to the second power. So factoring, let's write factoring of both denominators to have it in the same line. Okay, we have both denominators and the factoring. Next step. List all different factors that appear in any of the denominators. List different factors. So we're calculating LCD. LCD equals list different factors. 5R plus 2S is a common factor. I'm going to list the different factors. 5R minus 2S. 2R minus S, different factor. I list different factors. Now let's see. When the same factor appears in more than one denominator, write the factor with the highest power that appears. Same factor. 5R plus 2S is the same factor. Highest power, 1. We have the LCD. Now let's go to step number 2 because we are adding and subtracting numbers. So rewrite this fraction as an equivalent fraction with the LCD. This is done by multiplying both the numerator and denominator of each fraction by any factors needed to obtain the LCD. So let's move our fraction rewrite each fraction. Rewrite each fraction. Rewrite each fraction. I'm going to change denominator as the factored form. As the factored form. As the factored form. As the factored form. Why? Because the factored form of the denominator helps me to determine the factor that I have to multiply to get the LCD. So let's think. Which is the factor I need? Which is the factor I need to multiply and divide by to get the equivalent fraction? Which is the factor I need? The LCD as denominator. Which is the factor I need in the fraction number 1? What is the factor? Think a little bit. Which is the factor I have to multiply? Okay, so 5r minus 2s is in the LCD, 5r plus 2s is in the LCD, it lasts 2r minus s. So I'm going to multiply by 2r minus s. 2r minus s to get the LCD. If you want to be sure that you're not going to commit any mistake, you can write this factor in parentheses. Okay, in such a way you're not going to commit any mistake. And I will tell you to use numerators in parentheses as well. Now let's see for the second denominator. Second denominator. Let's multiply by a fraction to obtain the LCD. 2r minus s, 2r minus s, 5r plus 2s, 5r plus 2s, so we have to multiply by 5r minus 2s. 5r minus 2s. 5r minus 2s. Okay, we did the step number 2. Yes, now it says leave the denominator in factored form but multiply out the numerator. So we're going to leave the denominator in factored form and we're going to multiply out the numerator. Multiply out the numerator. The numerator. So I have to apply FOIL. I have to apply FOIL. By fraction, and here I have to apply FOIL. I have to apply FOIL. I'm going to apply FOIL here. So 5r times 2r, 10r squared square 5r minus s minus 5rs minus 2s times minus 2r minus 4rs, so we should have minus 9rs, and finally positive 2s square, positive 2s square. 5r times 2r, 10r squared. 5r times minus s minus 5rs minus 4rs minus 9rs. Okay, I multiply out this numerator. Now I'm going to multiply out the other numerator. 10r squared, we have minus 2r minus 2s minus 4rs minus 4rs minus s plus 5 times 5r minus 5rs, so we have minus 9rs plus 2s squared. 2s squared. Okay, and I forgot to write the LCD. Remember to write the LCD as a common denominator. Now, next step, I multiply out. Add or subtract the numerators while maintaining the LCD. Add or subtract numerators while maintaining the LCD. As you could see, we are subtracting, so we can leave common denominator and we just have to write the subtraction. This is just if you want to pass to subtract directly, you can do it. Some students prefer to do this, to write the least common denominator and both numerators, and if it's a subtraction, the subtraction. Don't forget the parentheses. Now let's subtract. 10r squared minus 10r squared, 0, minus 9r squared minus 9r squared, 0, 2s squared minus 2s squared, 0, 0. So we have that the fraction is 0 divided the LCD. And how much is 0 divided the LCD? So 0. Last step. When it is possible to reduce the fraction by factoring numerator, do so. Okay, it's not possible because it's 0. So we have finished the exercise. It's 0. Let's write the answer. So, answer. All the addition is 0, 0, 0. And this is how you apply the steps to add or subtract rational expressions. If you like this video, I hope that you enjoy it, and thanks for watching.